Uchiha Itachi, who was reincarnated from the dirty earth, joined forces with Uchiha Sasuke in the Hokage World to relieve his rebirth from the dirty earth. He then returned to the One Piece world and joined forces with Nagato to explore the One Piece world. Chapter 1. The Weasel Reborn in the World of Pirates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. My foolish little brother. If you want to kill me, hate me. Hate me. Then live on, keep running, run away, only live on, and then come find me when you have the same eyes as me. Only then will your life have value. Forgive me, Sasuke, this is the last time. Itachi recalled his life with Sasuke, carrying too much pain and suffering. After rescuing the filthy soil reincarnation technique with Sasuke, Itachi thought he had arrived in heaven, but here it was dark and he couldn't see anything. Itachi slowly opened his eyes and saw the sky of Liaolan and several seabirds hovering in the air for the first time. Itachi sat up and a few seabirds around him were frightened and flew away. Where is this? Aren't I dead? Itachi stood up and looked around at the vastness of the world. He raised his hand and clenched his fist. It seems like I've been reborn, and I don't know how Sasuke is doing. At this moment, the news bird flew over the weasel and dropped a newspaper. The weasel looked at the newspaper that had fallen and picked it up. The content that caught the eye was the bounty order from Luffy, 300 million Bailey, followed by Sauron, 120 million Bailey, Robin, 80 million Sandwich, 77 million Frank, 44 million Usopp, 30 million Nami, 16 million Xiaoba, and 50. Next is the report that the judicial headquarters has disappeared from the world map. After understanding the situation, Itachi closed his eyes and looked up. It seems like I have come to a brand new world. I wonder if I can make a name for myself in the world. At this moment, Itachi saw a navy ship approaching from a distance to the west. Itachi was very vigilant, and with his current strength of 18 years old, he still had the power to fight in World War I. But Itachi is not sure if it's an enemy or a friend, and now it's time to leave here. After confirming that no one had found him here, Itachi began to familiarize himself with his abilities. Fortunately, all of his abilities were preserved. Now, there is one thing that cannot be established here alone. He must find someone he is familiar with. Itachi thought of the 10-fist sword sealing two people, one is Changmen and the other is part of the soul of Orochimaru. It is too dangerous to release Orochimaru, and Changmen should not act recklessly. Itachi decided to release his long door and get along well with this world. After the decision was made, Itachi began. His eyes turned into a kaleidoscope, and he stood up from the ground with his Sharingan beard. The 10-fist sword was activated and the long gate was released. After Changmen was released, Itachi released the Sharingan and Susanoo. Looking at the cracks on Changmen's face, Itachi felt a bit guilty, but it was also to end the ninja war. After a while, Changmen woke up and said, "Where is this? Aren't I sealed? I'm separated from Teacher Zilai again. This is a new world, more precisely a world that does not belong to us." Itachi explained to Nagato next to him. "Oh, this is it. Is the battle over?" Itachi. "I'm not sure, I guess I woke up here." Changmen stood up and raised his hand to seal his seal. "Rebirth of filth, solve." After speaking, the crack on Changmen's face slowly disappeared. Now that Changmen was by his side, Itachi relaxed a lot. "Let's go find someone and ask what kind of world this is." Changmen nodded and followed Itachi out of the cave, wearing the black robes of the red fire-burning cloud organized by Xiao. Arriving at a very small town, Itachi asked other passers-by to know what the world was here. But he was met with strange gazes from around, and Itachi had no choice but to leave the town with the long gate. When he walked to the dock, he saw a navy ship docked here, and many miscellaneous soldiers wearing the same navy uniforms ran down and stood on both sides of the dock. Next came the senior general who stepped down. Itachi walked up and asked questions about this world, and the other person patiently explained to Itachi. After speaking, Itachi understood the general idea of this world. Changmen and Itachi left here for their previous rebirth point, using their ninjutsu skills to quickly build a small boat. Itachi quickly formed a seal and water run. Water slug bullet washed the boat to the beach. Changmen jumped up and followed Itachi up. "Where are we going now, Itachi?" "I don't know. If you see an island, go take a look. You can launch the Shenluo Heavenly Expedition and push our ship out." "Okay, Shenluo Tianjing." The force released by Shenluo Tianjing made the small boat fly straight up. Itachi had long known this, so he wrapped a layer of chakras tightly around his feet against the small boat before launching the Shenluo Tianjing in Changmen. Changmen stumbled down and sat down. The small boat flew for a long distance before coming into contact with the water surface. Changmen once again released the Shenluo Tianjing, and the small boat flew again. Itachi saw something ahead and quickly stamped Fire Escape, the art of the giant fireball. As soon as the Sea King class in front got up, they were subjected to the powerful fireball technique released by the Weasel. The Sea King class, which was scorched by the high temperature, sank into the water again. The small boat flew for a distance, and after the third Shenluo Tianjing, it saw the island. The small boat arrived at the dock. Itachi and Nagato got off the boat and heard the commotion on the island, which startled many birds. Itachi summoned his psychic beast, the crow, and activated the Sharingan to cast an illusion on the crow. The crow received the command and flew out. The crow was hovering high in the sky, and the situation in front of it was all received by the Weasel. Then an invisible force shook the crow down, and the Weasel immediately lost its reconnaissance. "Changmen, wait for me here, stay vigilant, I'll go back as soon as I go." "Okay." After Itachi finished speaking, it exploded into multiple crows and arrived at the place where the psychic beast had just fallen. Dozens of crows formed Itachi. It seems that the movement is ahead. Itachi walked over cautiously, slowly tilting his body and then continuing his aggressive steps, while the trees behind him slowly slid to the ground. Itachi arrived at the place of the melee, where many trees had been cut down, forming a battlefield. I saw only one person on the left and dozens of people on the right. In terms of the number of people alone, the left side does not have an advantage, and they are inside a blue protective cover. I only heard one sound. Room Batten Slaughterhouse. Then the man wearing the hat on the left swung his long sword and cut everyone on the right in half, making them lose their mobility. This scene surprised Itachi. Itachi was not surprised that the person was very strong, but was surprised that the person who was cut in half did not bleed heavily, just walked around lying on the ground. At this moment, the man wearing the hat noticed the position of the Weasel. "Is there anyone else?" But Itachi quickly withdrew his surprise because the long sword man wearing the hat was staring at him. Chapter 2. Uchiha Itachi vs Trafalgar Row. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Room Slaughterhouse. The blue protective shield instantly spread to Itachi, and the long sword man pulled out his sword and slashed at him. Itachi immediately stamped Fire Escape. The art of huge fireball. Room Surgical Knife. The long sword man cut the giant fireball in half and found that the Weasel had disappeared. Itachi rode his psychic beast, the black fire crow, in the air as he looked at the long knife man. Soon, the long knife man found Itachi. The long knife man used his ability to replace objects around Itachi and came to Itachi, where he saw Itachi's Sharingan. Monthly reading. The long knife man came to a red sky in an instant. He was tied to a cross and 5 identical weasels were stabbing him with a long knife, which lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. When he came back to his senses, he was no longer in the weasel's monthly reading world. It was only a moment here, but 3 days and 3 nights in the monthly reading world. The long sword man fell to the ground panting heavily, and those who had been cut in half were all shocked to drop their chins. Luo. Luo was actually seconds away. Itachi approached the person lying on the ground and said, "Why didn't you die?" "Who is that person?" A big guy said, "This is Trafalgar Rose ability, he is the devil fruit ability who ate the surgical fruit." Devil's fruit. It seems like this is really not my world. Who else is there here? This is Caesar's territory. We have been exiled here by the navy for a long time, but to our surprise, Trafalgar Row is also here. After hearing these pieces of information, Itachi disappeared. Shenluo Tianjing. Changmen had a conflict with other pirates, and there were many children on the pirate ship. Seeing these children, Changmen felt as if he had witnessed his tragic childhood experiences. Therefore, he took action against those pirates, and a divine Luo Tianjing drove them into the sea. Itachi arrived at Changmen and shared the intelligence with him. Upon hearing this, Changmen also had a new perspective on the world. "What are your plans in the future? This world is not the same as before. I just went to explore, and the world seems to be dominated by the ocean. Perhaps you and I can form a team to explore the world here." "Okay. But now I need to save the children on that boat. I just heard them say they want to send these children to do experiments. What unspeakable secrets are on this island? Like Orochimaru, he's as insane. Then it's up to you, I'll stop that person named Trafalgar Row. Did you have a conflict with the people on this island?" He moved his hand first. "I was just a slight counterattack." Trafalgar Row struggled to stand up, his face filled with anger. Itachi's illusion caused him great mental damage, and Row was able to stand up because of the devil fruit. Now Luo is going to find the weasel. He wants to take off its heart and slowly torture it. Luo chased towards the place where the weasel had left. Luo used his fruit power all the way, and after using teleportation a few times, he saw Itachi and Changmen. When Luo saw the weasel, he immediately surrounded this area with fruit power. Quickly dodged the long door. Room, surgical knife. Shenluo Tianjing. Changmen's Shenluo Tianjing sent Luo Dan flying out and also blew away Luo's sword energy. "Who is he?" "The person who just hit me." "I see, then I'll go save the children." The people who fell into the sea quickly swam to the shore, and Changmen saved all the children. The children kept thanking Changmen. Luo bounced from the right side of the island to the left side, unconscious. It must be said that the Shenluo Tianjing of Changmen is really outrageous. Those people behind the shore, Changmen and Itachi ignored them. After all, a group of miscellaneous elites cannot pose a big threat to the two of them. Porn, 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 porn. Luo's phone worm rang, waking him up. Luo borrowed the phone, and on the other side of the worm was a woman's voice. "Luo, have you received those children? There's something wrong with me here. 2 teenagers wearing cloud black windbreakers have arrived. I was supposed to change bodies for those disabled people, but one of them broke into my slaughterhouse territory. I had to subdue him, but I didn't expect him to be so strong. And that red-haired boy bounced me directly from the right to the left. They're not easy. Do you need me to come over and help? I can't solve it. Those 2 guys are unforgivable." Luofa's ability to move the fruit once again returned to Itachi and Nagato. Itachi and Nagato looked at the man wearing a hat and found him very annoyed. So they tacitly jumped onto the small boat they made together. However, Luo's knife was faster and he cut off Itachi and Nagato's boat. Itachi and Nagato jumped back to the shore. "What do you mean by this? Beating me so badly and leaving like this makes me very unhappy, you 2 bastards. Room, slaughterhouse. Leave this guy from Changmen to me. Okay, be careful. You moved your hand first, did I still make a mistake? I'm just helping them with the surgery." If you suddenly break in and disturb me during the surgery, you would be angry too. Room Gamma Ray. Itachi opened his Sharingan and allowed Luo to cut himself with gamma rays. As soon as Luo's gamma rays touched Itachi, it turned into a crow. Is it a demon fruit-capable person? The crows gathered behind Luo's body to form a weasel, and the weasel raised its hand and stamped, "Water run, water slug bullet." Luo's reaction was also quickly replaced by his ability to avoid being washed into the sea by Itachi's water tap. Itachi turned around and stared at Luo with his riding will eyes. Luo was shocked to see Itachi spit out the water tap. Aren't you a devil fruit power? Why do you spray water? What demon fruit power person? I don't understand what you're talking about. Fire escape fire dragon bullet. Itachi jumped up and sprayed a large dragon towards Luo. Luo was shocked to see the dragon and opened his mouth wide. However, he quickly regained his composure and cut the dragon in half with a knife. However, Itachi had already arrived in front of Luo. Itachi's riding will eyes changed from 3-hooked jade to 3-knife spinning, and Luo saw Itachi's kaleidoscope riding will eyes. Monthly reading. Chapter 3 Setting Sail. Target. Empty Island. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Once again, Luo came to the world of moon reading, where the sky was still blood red. Luo experienced a mental attack again, and this feeling was too painful. Returning to reality, Luo lay on the ground unable to move. Itachi lifted the illusion on Luo, and their small boat was chopped down by Luo. Now there was no time to continue building new boats with ninjutsu, and they could only stay temporarily on this island. Changmen and Itachi walked into the island together, where there were many strange animals, which broadened their horizons. At this moment, Itachi and Changmen saw the people who had been cut in half by Luo. This scene stunned Changmen, but he quickly calmed down. Don't bother with them, they were chopped like this by someone named Luo. I just heard that Luo said he wants to perform surgery on them. Oh, good. You are the little brother who defeated Luo. Actually, Luo didn't want to kill us, he wanted to perform surgery on us. We all have significant sequelae in our lower bodies and can't walk, so we asked Luo to help us with the surgery. But when we were preparing for the surgery, you broke into Luo's slaughterhouse area. I'm really sorry. I'm not wrong, right? That person started attacking me after I walked in and cut you in half. I was just fighting back, right? I found out he wasn't dead, he just fell for my illusion and couldn't wake up for a while. You just wait for him here. After Itachi finished speaking, he went to other places to take a look, and Changmen didn't want to meddle and follow behind Itachi. Itachi lifted the illusion on Luo, as these people still rely on Luo to complete the surgery. Luo woke up from the world of reading on the moon and stood up with difficulty. His brain felt uncomfortable as if it had been cut off halfway, and this unbearable sense of hypoxia. Every step Luo took required him to catch his breath for a long time. After a long time, he returned to the place where he had cut the person in half. Mr. Luo, are you okay? You look even weaker than us. Bastards. Why don't you stop the two of them? Can we stop the two of them like this? Luo fell silent, and it's not their fault. However, the strength of Itachi and Changmen cannot be defeated by Luo because there is no intelligence and he doesn't know much about them. Now help these people replace their genitals with animal genitals. Soon, these people's bodies were replaced. Luo assigned them a task to find Yuzhibo Itachi and Changmen. These people also quickly launched a search. Itachi and Nagato arrived at a huge iron gate. Do you want to use ninjutsu to open this door? No, find the entrance. I don't have many chakras left. By the way, Changmen, aren't you from the Whirlpool clan? I remember you have more chakras than me. Yes, but I don't want to waste chakra either. I'll listen to you and find other entrances. Itachi closed his eyes, and when he opened them again, they had already turned into a kaleidoscope. Then he made a mark and turned around to lift his head. Fire escape. Fire dragon sings. Itachi spewed out a huge fire dragon from his mouth and headed straight into the sky. A figure in the sky saw this huge fire dragon rushing towards him, forcing him to elemental transform. He didn't expect to be discovered so quickly, so it seems that those two people should not be underestimated. We're being targeted by someone else. Break open this iron gate. 8-foot Chiongoyu. Okay. Earth's explosive celestial star. The long gate released a black ball that was absorbed around the stone in the middle of the iron gate and began to be sucked over by the black ball in the middle of the iron gate. When it was about the same size as the iron gate, the 8-foot Chiongoyu flew towards the earth-burst celestial star. A strong light shone on the entire island, and such a commotion attracted the attention of the whole island's people. With a loud bang, the iron gate was gone, but the entrance was also blown away. Itachi and Nagato looked at the base that was almost destroyed by the explosion. Luo immediately ran towards the direction of the base, and the ruins in front of him shocked him for 10,000 years. I saw the base flattened by Itachi and Changmen. Did you catch up again? It's really annoying. Wait a minute. I'm not asking you to fight. Luo looked at Itachi's kaleidoscope and couldn't help but feel a bit scared. Changmen put down his hand ready to release Shenluo Tianzheng. At this moment, the figure of the fire dragon singing, who had avoided the Weasel, also came to Luo's side. These two people are very strong. Monet. Why are you here? Lord Caesar doesn't trust you, so he let me help you. But how did you do this? That tear-ditch man's eyes are very dangerous. You are not a match for the two of them. Well, I know. I almost got killed when I arrived. Wait a moment. Mr. Tirgo, I still don't know the names of your excellency and your excellency with red hair. Can you tell me? Is he a daimyo? Uchiha Itachi. He's a Changmen. But he and I are not from this world. Is Itachi in charge? You are really strong. But there are guys in this world who are even stronger than you. You two newcomers should be more careful. Oh, this is a map, and you take this pointer. Although you are not willing to be defeated by you, you are really strong. If possible, I hope we don't become enemies. Why are you helping us? Changmen, don't pay attention to them, let's go. Changmen asked a curious question but was interrupted by Itachi. Itachi took the things given by Luo and took the long gate to the shore, rebuilding a new ship as quickly as possible. Itachi and Nagato boarded the small boat and prepared to embark on their voyage. Itachi turned around and asked Nagato. Do Changmen know why I ignored that person named Luo? When Itachi asked this question, Changmen immediately understood what Itachi was saying. What plans did the person named Luo have to make here? Itachi opened the map and looked at it, but the pointer kept pointing towards the sky. Itachi's gaze turned to the sky, which was empty except for many white clouds. Itachi then looked around and saw nothing but the sea. Is this map in the sky? Chapter 4. Historical text of the empty island. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. De Co Lois Ara Trong Quatrin Lay Text. Chapter 5. Paine's 6 Paths vs. General Qingzhi Kuzan. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. De Co Lois Ara Trong Quatrin Lay Text. Chapter 6. Interstellar Cells of Orochimaru. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. De Co Lois Ara Trong Quatrin Lay Text. Chapter 7. The Power of Immortals. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. De Co Lois Ara Trong Quatrin Lay Text. Chapter 8. Encountering the Straw Hat Boy. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. De Co Lois Ara Trong Quatrin Lay Text. Chapter 9. The Mermaid of Gratitude. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 10. Rescue of Fishman Xiaoba. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text.